Hiya! So this is a video tutorial just to help you with the blues. I'm going to be demonstrating a few different aspects to do with playing the blues on the piano. For example, the walking bass, the chords, some improvising, and also how you might want to vary the rhythm as well. So first of all, let's talk about the chords. 12-bar blues structure, and we're doing this in C. So I'm just going to play the chords. Feel free to play along with me if you know them. This is the pulse that I'm going to be using. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're C first, holding each for 4 beats. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. My next chord is F. 2, 3, 4. Just 2 of these. Back to C, 2, 3, 4. Now G coming up next, but just for 4 beats, and then an F, 2, 3, 4. Back to C, 3, 4, and then C, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the basic chord structure and the triads or the chords played in their most simple form. Now the left hand typically plays the walking bass, and the way you find the notes for the walking bass is you find the notes of the chords. So for C major, that means C, E and G. Then you've got to add a white one, A, and then you've got to add a black one, B flat, and then you come back down, keeping them separate like this. And then without stopping, obviously I'm stopping just to explain this, without stopping you need to move straight onto the F pattern. So for that you find the notes of the F chord, which is F, A and C, play them separately, add a white one, D, add a black one, E flat, then come back down. So that's the F pattern, which happens twice. Then without stopping, you go back to the C pattern. And you do that twice, I think. Then you go to G, but you only have 4 beats worth of time on the chord of G. So all you've got time for is G, B, D, B before you move to the F. So that was F, A, C, A, and then you return to your C pattern. Okay. Now, once you're in the flow of this, these longer patterns, your very last note of them, you have to miss out, otherwise you'll end up with an extra beat. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to play the whole of the walking bass now. If you're comfortable with this already, you can feel free to play along. Here we go. So here's the C pattern, which repeats. Now watch out, I'm going to miss out the C straight onto the F pattern. Then back to the C pattern. See how I missed out that last F? Missing out the C straight to the G, straight to the F, straight to the C. And then you'd miss out the C at the end of your blues, okay? So that's how the walking bass goes. I'm now going to play the chords with the walking bass. I'm going to use a really straightforward rhythm. I'm just going to hold my chords for 4 beats so you can see how it all fits together. Here we go. This is the C pattern, getting ready to shift to the F pattern without stopping. Getting ready to go back to C. Getting ready for the G. Then to the F. Then back to the C. Okay, so that's the chords and the walking bass. Now in our lessons we've also talked about varying the rhythm. Now this is where it gets a lot of fun and it's quite creative. You can basically do any rhythm you like as long as you keep within the 12-bar blues and you keep the length of time spent on each chord the same, or at least proportionate to the rest of it. So one thing that could be worth trying is in the right hand, when you've got the chords, just like double the speed basically. So how that would sound is, which is quite fun. Alternatively, you could try alternating the left and the right. Now, this would be straight quavers, which is quite fun. I quite like to do a dotted or a swung pattern. So that's da 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 da. You can choose whatever pattern you like. You could do like a more sort of pop, modern pop pattern. You could even change the rhythm of the walking bass, I suppose. So there's that dotted pattern or the swung pattern. So really have loads of fun with it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you was the improvising. So if you're able to play this as a duet with somebody, you know, you could take it in turns to do some improvising, or you could even try the chords in one hand whilst you yourself improvise in the other. So the key thing with improvising is to keep it simple in the first instance. I would always say just stick to the notes of the chord that is being played in the other hand or by the other person, just in the first instance. But if you want to make it sound really bluesy, instead of your E's, play E flats. Okay, you can also add in a G flat or aka F sharp. A B flat is also really good. So we're talking about these three notes. And the reason why I'm choosing these three notes is these are actually part of what we call the blues scale, as opposed to the normal major scale. So you can really, you know, have fun with this and be creative. So I'm going to show you now a bit of improvising with my left hand doing simple chords. And I'm just going to pick like 3, maybe 4 notes from each chord in the right hand to play as a bit of an improvisation. And I'm going to have a go using these flat notes, or we can call them blue notes, just to show you the kind of thing, you know, that I would suggest to get started. So just one note. And when we shift, it's really nice and simple. Obviously, you know, take it further, use more of the piano as well. I'm just demonstrating this in sort of the middle of the piano so that it works with my technology here. But, you know, you can absolutely use all of the piano. So here's an example of a slightly more complex improvisation. So I am going to use more of the piano now. I'm also going to use the right pedal, the sustain pedal. Made a little mistake there, but you know, it's all about the fun and, you know, finding your way through and enjoying it. Now, before we finish, there are a couple of other little tips and tricks that I can show you just to make your blues sound even more bluesy. One really cool thing I like to do when I'm improvising is pick 3 notes, make sure one of them is a blue note. So for example, I'm going for C, E flat and F. I'm actually going to play it an octave higher. And stick the pedal down, the right sustain pedal. And if you literally just wobble between all 3, it sounds awesome. So you can see how it can just add a bit more character. And the final thing is a bit of a slide, or you might have heard me use the word glissando, and that sounds like this. So essentially, it's a really cool way to make the end of the 12-bar blues structure a bit more funky. Also, you could end your blues on this as well. So I'll just show you what I mean. So I'll go from the G pattern and then the F and then the C just sort of towards the end. Can you see this? Yes, you probably can. Maybe I'll do it more here. So you could try that. Also at the very end of your blues, when you decided you're going to be finishing, here is that glissando, that slide, just as part of an ending. I'm also going to do that wobble, which is called a tremolo. Have a listen to this. So have loads of fun with it. As long as you stick with your 12-bar blues structure and the timing, as in how many beats you spend on each chord, you can almost have free reign. Have fun with it. I can't wait to see and hear what you come up with. All right, take care. See you soon.